Good morning, everyone. Let me just see if I can see myself. Um, Hi, it's Wednesday, and let's pop this up. And that's the old one. Yeah, hi, everyone. Let me just see what is happening here. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, it's working. Here we are at our regular scheduled time, Wednesday at 11 Pacific time. I'm Dallas Piana from Coaching, Scaling Secrets and Strategy using Facebook. Today, I wanted to talk about how to stay focused in your business, decrease, get rid of distractions. Okay, so this kind of goes hand in hand with what I talked about on Monday. So you can go back in the news feed here in the group, look for the Monday live I did. I did it at 5 o'clock Pacific time. I think it's just below here. So if you scroll down, I talked about leverage, using leverage in your business and to really maximize the advantage of the leverage so that you can actually close more sales, frees up more time for you to have conversations. Today, I wanted to talk about focusing, okay? And if you have been following me for any length of time, you know that there are basically 5 to 6 core activities that need systems that need to be put in place and to be done every single day to really grow a business online. And then there's all this kind of ancillary stuff that is extras, like, how do you put in a referral system or a testimonial system, things like that. But today I wanted to talk about focus, okay? Let me just put my notes up here so I can see. And let me just see if there's who is hopped on here. And I am trying out different times to go live, just to spread the wealth, to get more people on, different people on at different times throughout the day. So let's get right into it. Okay, I have 7 tips I want to share with you. One is determine, if you can, when are you most productive? Like you, when are you on your, zone of genius? You are like one with the work. You kind of go into a zone, right? And you can get so much done. Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it in the early evening? Or is it like after, 10 o'clock at night? So determine what that is for you, okay? And if you're listening now, let me know when that is, if you know what it is. For me, I'm more productive in the morning, and then I have this burst of incredible energy from like 5 on. Okay? So my afternoons after lunch, I'm a little slow and not as productive, and I get distracted too much. Okay? So what do? I make sure that none of my appointments out in my environment, like going to the dentist or the doctor or meeting someone, happens in the morning. Okay, haircut, hair color, all that will happen in the afternoon, where my energy is down. Okay, and I'm not feeling my best. I will make sure that all those activities are in the afternoon, okay? So that my mornings are, I'm focused on what I need to do. All right? Or a lot of times after dinner, I get back on and I can work for 4 hours like uninterrupted. It is wonderful. Okay? So that's what it is for me. So really determine, when are you most productive? When are you most like so in your zone that you can get so much more done, okay? That's when you want to do the critical work of your business, okay? Now, I realize some of you may work, okay? So there may be a difference that you may have to do this on the weekend, okay? Or do you have nooks and crannies in your day where you can put in the tasks or the activities that are money generating for you? When do you need to plop those into your day? That's another way to look at it. And really determine what it is and stay with it. Create a system for yourself, a calendar for yourself, and do it over and over and over again. The less that you have to think when you're doing your work, the more productive you will be and the more focused you will be. Okay? If you're just hopping on, say hi. When do you think you're the most productive? That's the question right now. What part of the day? Is it morning or early morning, like 5 o'clock, 10 to 12? Is it after lunch? Is it before dinner? Is it right after dinner, or are you a night owl? Okay. And that's when you want to be the most productive with your activities. So for me, that's when I do this is when I would do content creation, program development. I don't generally schedule my one-on-one coaching calls during that time because those I can do anytime during my energy of my day. But for complete focus, I like to do content creation, getting on calls, sales calls, qualifying people, doing it in my morning and in the evening, okay, after dinner. All right. So that's what I like to do. So you want to decide that for yourself. And you will become much more focused, much more productive in your business when you're doing the heavy lifting of your business in those times during your day. The second tip, so that's really 1 and 2, okay? Number 3 is I advise you to turn off your notifications for all your groups, okay? Keep a few on, um, so, but you don't, otherwise you're going to be being ding, 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 ding all day long. Okay. And that is a distraction. At least it is for me. So I would recommend that you go into all your 100 of groups and just turn off the bell, the notification. And you can do it right there on their page. I think you go to the top right is the 3 dots. And I think right in there, you can turn off the notification, or you can go where you see more and click the dots and then turn off the notification. You will just the distraction will decrease, and it will allow you to focus more on your business and what you want to be doing. Okay. You're trying to, what I'm talking about here is managing your own 24 hours day in that you have in a day to be as productive as you can and decrease as many distractions as you possibly can. Okay. So determine your productivity, do your bulk of the heavy lifting of your money generating activities during the time when you have the most energy and the most focus. Turn off your notifications from groups. The other thing I do, although what I do is I turn on the notifications for my clients. So I want to see what they're doing. Okay. So that's what I do. The other thing you want to do is, what does your environment look like? Okay. Can you decrease, wherever you're working? Do you have the least amount of distractions happening? Okay. So for me, right now I'm in the dining room. I love it here because it has an incredible view, but I have a number of distractions because my husband works at home, and so he'll come up and get food, or he'll want to talk or whatever. So eventually, probably in another month, I'm going to be moving up to a spare bedroom and be able to shut the door. Okay. And I think that everyone, you need your own corner space where people know not to disturb you. Okay. Again, if you're in your zone of genius, you're working on content creation or program development, you don't want constant interruptions from dogs, cats, husbands, children, right? You even could put a sign on the door, do not disturb. Okay. Unless it's an emergency. I even will take my phone and I'll move it to another part of the house where it can charge, so I'm not picking it up. All right, and that's what I think you all should do. The other thing I do is when I'm in the middle of a launch or a workshop, I put signs on the doorbells so people are not distracting us as I'm doing teaching. Okay. Generally, when I do lives, a lot of times I'll lock up the cat so the cat's not walking in front of me. So I'm decreasing the amount of distractions. Now I do have the dog here, and I'm praying that she doesn't see a squirrel because she would bark, and I forgot to lock her up. But anyway, so you want to create a space where you have the least amount of distractions. Okay. The next thing I wanted to talk, so we're talked about 4, is batching your work. Okay. So what do I mean by that? You will be more productive and more focused if you create your content that you're going to put out on your social media platforms for a week at a time, rather doing it every day. Okay, where you starting from scratch. Now what am I going to post? Now what am I going to put out there? So if you batch it and take one day, you take an hour and you decide what is going to be the theme for the week, or what are you going to put out for the week. Your focus is, you're going to see how much quicker it is for you to put out content, and you're more focused, and it really helps grow your business. Okay, the more focused you are, the more control you are, the less chaos there is, because God knows, if you're not focused and don't have a structure in your business, you can get just sucked into all these rabbit holes on Facebook. And you definitely want to stay focused and on purpose to your mission of, building a business, coaching people in your expertise and helping them get what they need, right? Okay, let me just see who's on here. Say hi if you're just jumping on. Love to see who's here. So definitely I would recommend highly, highly, highly batch your work. Okay. Number 6, this is probably one of my, oh my goodness, is so important. I brought it just to show you a stack of them. I keep a notebook by my side when I work, okay? And I use this notebook to scribble down thoughts, ideas, people I need to contact. If I'm doing a training, the notes for my training go in here. Everything goes into a notebook, because for me, let's say I'm creating content and something pops up, I jot it down here rather than move off what I'm doing and go opening up another document to jot something down. I'm not a fan of Google Docs. The only reason why I love it is because it has a share link and you can get a URL, but I'm not crazy about how it's set up. But I do love to keep a journal. It's not a journal, it's really a workbook, okay, that I document everything. It's with me all the time of what's happening in my business, just notes, ideas, who I have to contact, anything like that. And what I have learned, look, this is like just grab a stack of books. I put the date of when it started and when it ended on the front cover. And what you want to do is, what I've learned over time, because then you're saying, oh, what notebook was that training in where I took notes? And in the front of the notebook, I write down what's inside. So, if there's a training I took notes in, I put the training in there with the date. If there's a content that I put in there or information I want to get to, I write it in the front of the notebook. So it's like an index of what is inside this notebook. And then I store these somewhere. And if for something, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need that information, I can go back into my notebooks and pull it up. All right. Highly recommend. But it's different than your journal. Okay. If you're someone who's journaling, I would keep separate notebooks. I wouldn't combine my work notebook with my journal notebook. Okay. And maybe your journal notebook is up by your bedside or in a different room, or it just becomes kind of chaotic if you merge the two. That's what I have found. You might find something different. Okay. And then the last thing that I do to stay focused is that I have this big planner. I have a big planner. And I have it striped so I can find it. I have a black desk here so it pops. I know exactly where it is. And everything is listed out into chunks of time, my week at a time. And I can see it all laid out. I tried Google Calendar and other calendars using the phone. I don't care for it because I like to see my entire week out in front of me, not like close one, go to the next. I like to see everything. So that's why I love this. And then I can flip, from week to week. I can put notes in. I can paper clip things in that I need to know. I'm still back to the old-fashioned planner, and I get the biggest one possible. And the other tip that I do is I get the planner, which is called the Teacher's Planner, and it begins in July, okay? Because too many things are happening at the end of the year for me to start a whole new journal planner. So what I do is I start a new planner every July in the opposite of when everybody else is, and then I just, so I'm coming up. I have a couple more months here, and then I'll get a new planner, and it works for me much better than getting it in January and starting a whole new one. So this is like a godsend. This is what keeps me on track, focus on my business, and I definitely would recommend that you get one. One of my clients, she just started again on a paper planner. She tried Google Calendar, didn't work for her. It became more chaotic, so she went back to the paper planner. So that's what I've got. So just review them all is find the time when you're most productive. Morning, early morning, after lunch, late afternoon, evening, late night. L, are you an L? And that's where you should be doing the majority of your program development, your content creation, messaging people, qualifying, things that take really a lot of focus. Okay. For me, I schedule, mine is in the morning and in the late, like from 7 to 9 or 10. So that's where the bulk of my heavy duty work is done at that time. And then, of course, I make all my appointments in the afternoon where my energy drops. And usually that's when I see a lot of my clients. If I have private clients, goes there. Doesn't mean that my focus on them is not crisp and sharp. It's just that my concentration to create content and do something that takes a lot of focus is done at different times. Okay. Turn off your notifications on your phone through groups. Decrease the number of bings and chimes that you're getting. Create an environment that decreases your distractions. Put signs on the door. Do not disturb. If people are constantly disturbing you, really create a space where you can get focused and get something done and be productive. You want to prioritize your content, your money generating activities, make them front and center every day. How much time do you need to spend on that per day? As we talked on Monday about leveraging an assistant, what can you outsource to an assistant to help you with things that you don't need you to do? Okay. Batch your work as much as possible. Get notebooks in front of you so you can jot things down as they occur, so you can refer to them. Keep an index in the front of them of what's in the notebook, so you're not flipping through the notebook saying, where is that? And then use a paper planner. And if those are my 7 tips to staying focused in my business, and it has really paid off big time. Okay, you guys. So that's all I have for today. And I am actually going live on Mondays now at 5 p.m. Pacific as well. So it's twice a week. And I just want to see what is happening out there in internet land. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the group.